in a world.
Yeah, man. How are you?
I'm great, bro. How you doing?
Man, I can't complain. I needed a little late caffeine today.
Little pick me up?
What the hell? Why not? They say you're not supposed to drink after a certain amount of time, but
I just don't drink it at all.
no, you've got a Diet Coke has a lock on you.
That's right.
You know, we need to get you some endorsements.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
Little Diet Coke swag, some shoes.
Hey,
Diet Coke Jordans.
I could fuck with that.
I know you could. You know, I want to talk to you about work wives and work husbands today.
Ooh, okay.
That's a hot topic.
Spicy. I dig it. I'm down.
Work wives, bro. What's the deal with work wives? What's the deal with work spouses? See, a lot of people who aren't in the industry or don't work may take offense to that.
Right.
But it's a real ecosystem. And I think that there's me personally, I think it's an overwhelming amount of benefits to work spouses, if you will.
For sure.
In the term. So when I say a work wife or work husband, what does that mean to you?
To me, it's just like we work together a lot, and certain jobs, right? Like when you're traveling or when you're on big projects or you've got big deadlines, you know, you're going to be spending a lot of extra time together. You're going to be, you know, maybe you're flying together, maybe you're staying at the same hotel, maybe you're as a team, you're going out to dinners together. Or maybe it's a person in your territory or region. So for chunks of time, you're going to be spending maybe more time with that person than your actual spouse, if you have one. And it's that scenario to just be, you know, could we just be clinical and just be coworkers and just do the, you know, the black and white of our jobs? Yes. But if you open it up and you allow the personal relationship to exist, you know, of course, we're not talking about crossing any boundaries here. We're, you know, strictly platonic, but you get to know that person.
We're keeping it above board.
No. and you have this chance to really excel in work and personally, because you stand to benefit with the right person from that interaction.
Yeah. You made me think about it, and it's an interesting phenomenon because you probably don't have these types of relationships anyplace else, right? Because you don't have a work wife in your neighborhood, in your cul-de-sac, right? You don't have that at your birthday parties or group get-togethers or your dinner parties. But at work, it's almost like you can have these platonic relationships that add value to your life at work. Because there's people at work that I've worked with that are like, oh, no, let me make your plate. Right. And it's like, oh, and at some point, even at home, when people ask me to do that, I'm like, OK, you're going to make my plate? Thank you. I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, I need, 3 hots and a cot and I need my plate in front of me. I'm not that. So I'm always thankful when somebody is like trying to do something. My wife and I like to call it the old school way. We're kind of old school. Like, I know how to cook, but she does most of the cooking.
Sure.
Right. So it's like, yeah, give and take. But to my, the point that I'm trying to make is, it's almost like you can have these relationships where people kind of play their quote unquote role. Right. And I'm not just saying a work wife is a person that has to, make my plate. I'm using that as an example. But it's sort of a relationship that you can have at work that supports each other.
Yeah.
Right? Like where are you?
Right.
Like, and so, not just a work wife, but I'll just say a work spouse is a person that, you've built this relationship where you have, you probably share secrets, work secrets, if you will.
Right.
And work secrets are work gossip.
Yeah.
But you share that intel.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take care of each other.
Right.
Right. And when I say take care of each other, I mean things like if I'm better at something than you are, then maybe I take that on for you.
Yes.
Or maybe I say, hey, you know, we got to turn that report in before 5 o'clock, right? And I know you normally forget.
Those damn TPS reports. Yes.
Them TPS reports, man. You need a cover page on it.
That's right. Did you read the memo? Yeah. Or like you're sitting in a meeting and it's like, and you know, like, hey, my work spouse is usually here by now. Throw him a text like, hey, man, we're about to start this meeting. Where you at? You know, we got this meeting, right?
Right. Right. Or they saved you a seat.
Exactly. Like, hey, bring in your notebook, but nope, this seat's taken. The seat's taken.
Yep. Right. Or there was one Diet Coke left. I saved it for you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of benefits to it.
Oh, for sure.
Why do you think that word scares people?
Because the word wife and husband automatically triggers this, marriage and matrimony and it immediately goes to non-platonic topics and activity, and that intimidates people. And maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I would say that the majority of relationship out there have some insecurities, and when you have insecurities and you have a lack of complete transparency and honesty, doubt can creep in. And so when people say, oh, you're spending all this time, it better not be a woman. Please don't let it be. It's a woman. Oh no. It's about having that confidence and transparency, regardless of whether that's a man or a woman.
Yeah. And somebody's at home feeling insecure. And you're like, oh, we're traveling to Orlando for a week for a national sales meeting. Mm-hmm. And it's a roaring 50s theme where
you're dressing up. There's parties, there's booze.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, I think what gets in the way is insecurity.
Yeah.
And also infidelity. There's a lot of infidelity.
Unfortunately, you are correct.
It comes with the territory, and not just our industry, right? It's people hook up all the time. Yeah. But there's, and we'll get to that. We'll talk about the hooking up. Mm-hmm. But I think that there are multiple benefits, right? One, information gathering, I think, is one of the most crucial things about our industry today is being able to, as I like to say, have enough birdies out there, right?
Little birds.
My little birds came to me with a message, right? Like having intel about all levels of the organization gives you a superpower. It gives you a superpower to know if the tide is turning, right? If there's going to be a shift in power, right? Where you need to go. If somebody's coming into your department who doesn't care about your department, right? All of these things are important, even down to the fact of, I've been in places where it's time to get the old resume dusted off.
Exactly.
Right. And so a work spouse and having that deep connection, I think gives you a lot of insight into what's going on with the business. It can either it can either raise your anxiety or lower it.
For sure. Having that information, because there's never going to be a scenario where everybody's openly transparent. That's just not going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's people think they got to be strategic, and people think they got to be, senior man with a secret. And it's like, oh, that's only I know how to do that. That makes me more important. So having that information and knowing how and where to wield it is a powerful strategy, almost a weapon that you can use to your teams or your organization's benefit.
Right. Some of the best people I think that you can make relationships with, well, I have it in my mind. Mm-hmm. And I don't just want to, well, I'll just throw it out. I'll just tell everyone. Right. The best person that you can make a relationship with is the administrative assistant of.
Could not agree more.
Of just about any level in the organization. So if someone has a level that has an administrative assistant, mm-hmm. they could be a VP of sales. They could be a VP of marketing. They could be the president.
Yep.
Those administrative assistants, they know where all the bodies are.
All of them.
They know what's coming. They know what's past. They know what's been prevented. And building a relationship with them will help you to better maneuver the place.
Yeah. They got keys to every single door, whether that be physical or, spiritual. They can unlock everything.
And for years, people overlooked them.
Oh, yeah.
They thought, I need to meet with Lumberg. Get out of my way. And it's like, you need to build a relationship with that administrative assistant, because that administrative assistant can get you in with that person, can tell you what that person likes, what they hate, how they want information delivered.
Yep.
I mean, I learned that so early on, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, you're brown nosing this person," and it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me because it helped me to maneuver the web.
Exactly. It's like, hey, Sonny, you got. Can you put me on Linda or Bob's calendar for 15 minutes? Oh, well, they're a little busy, but I'll slip something in for you. Oh, thanks.
They're the gatekeeper. And so if you never are getting time, it's because that person, because they'll mm-hmm. make time for you. Oh, let me see. Oh, they said, call back here in 5 minutes.
It could even go the other way around, right? Like you could be like maybe you're in with that exec, but you wronged their admin somehow. You might never get that time. You might never get past that gate.
Because that admin, you got to understand that admin is, no matter how good or bad the relationship is, they become part of that leader's family.
Exactly.
They become an extension.
Yes.
And so they'll be like, oh my God, that guy is an ass. And they'll be like, really? So
Tell
now,
me more.
yeah. So you got to understand the executive is gaining information from their admin.
Yes. It is a two-way street.
Oh, what happened? What happened after I went up to my room?
Right.
Oh, who fell out of the bar stool? No. Right? Who was dancing scantily clad on the dance floor? Right? So, we're kind of giving people a pathway to success. And it's like, look, build some relationships. I don't want to go too far. Look, you had a thought. Go ahead.
I mean, this happened to me a long time ago, back in middle school, and people made fun of me for it. And I think it has really stuck to this day. I don't remember what, but the bus I rode the bus to school, and I got to school really early. And in Colorado, it was cold. So I would go into the gym and hang out. Mm-hmm. And I made friends with the janitor of the school.
Willie.
Yeah. Robert Barano. and he would play like Stevie Ray Vaughan, and he was an older dude, and he would teach me he would just tell me all these cool stories. Learned how to run a mop and a wet mop, and I don't know, like he prepared me for a lot of things. And somehow that scenario, like I've always, like there's you and I go to a couple places, and I always make friends. I don't make it a point. It just happens. I make friends with those people. And I'll tell you what, it has saved my ass so many times. We had a poster up in a cafeteria once that was wrong. And I I was like, man, hey, can you help me out and get this down? It was gone in like 5 minutes. And, those people, they know where all the bodies are. They literally have the keys to every door and
everything.
And as long as you have a genuine relationship with them, they're going to help you out.
You just made me think of something I haven't thought of in a while, but I had a entrepreneurial time when I was just out on my own, calling on hospitals, just breaking down doors for anybody that wanted it. If you said, hey, I got a blood pressure cuff, or I have some bone particulate, or I've got an ankle brace, whatever you wanted to sell, I would act like I had the connections.
Exactly.
I would be like, oh, no, what?
I can get you that.
I can get you in there. Which VA you want to go to?
Right.
And you'd say, I want to go to this VA, and then I want to hang up and then just start knocking down doors.
Right.
Knocking down doors. And as I gained experience and got a lot of wins, to your point, if you walk into a VA hospital, you think that you want to find the head of orthopedics.
You would think.
You actually want to find the guy or gal pushing the trash can.
Exactly.
With keys.
Right.
And I cannot stress to you the amount of navigation that a janitor has given me in multiple VA hospitals across the country.
Mm-hmm.
I would train people, go look for them. Where they at? Okay, let's find them. Hey, trying to find prosthetics, bro. Who is? Well, listen, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's an ass. He don't make the calls. You need to talk to this person. You're like,
thank you.
Right. So then the next time I come back to the hospital, I've got Willie's coffee and muffin.
Exactly.
Right. So I think it's a bigger story. Yeah. Having a work spouse and everything like that helps to keep you sane, because there are kind of triggers and different idiosyncrasies we have that are the same at home, at work. So you got somebody looking after you. I used to have a buddy who he had to take a nap after, I would go by his cubicle, be like, hey, wake up. Right. He's just like eating a big lunch, and then now he's snoozing. And so you'd be like, hey, up. So you want to have somebody that's going to take care of you.
Yep.
And then you want to find people who can help you navigate the system and become willing to share information.
Exactly.
Right. And a lot of people, I think, are starstruck by the title.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No doubt. Eventually you want to get to the head of orthopedic surgery.
Right.
But you want to find out the quirks and idiosyncrasies about that person as you make your way up that mountain.
Yeah. To me, it's the same people that get starstruck by those big titles have the exact opposite. They're like, oh, that's just a janitor. Why are you talking to that person? Like you need to treat everybody as a real person.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes both ways, right? These big people, if you go up and you talk to them like they're just another, not just another, but you're bro, you're somebody that you can mess with, somebody that you're on the same page with, so much more respect. And that, again, don't ever treat somebody like you're above them. That's just never going to get you anywhere.
Nothing.
So that's the lesson to me there.
Yeah. And you never know where those people can get you.
Exactly.
what do we know about those big jobs? Let's just say you've got to, and historically you and I have, we've seen this, but let's say you got a president of a company, corporation or division, whatever.
Sure.
You got a president. That president either leaves or takes a new job. Whoever comes into that new job, they get the same admin.
Yep. Usually.
Right. Usually. And why is that?
Because they already got the system down on lock. They already know.
They know that you need to have an R&D meeting every Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
They know that you need to have a deck prepared for your boss for their call on this specific day. So you're basically coming into a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
So not only is it important to make those relationships with those admins today, right? Not next week, but today, because when the shift in power happens, they don't usually shift.
No.
They stay right there.
Those are the people you want to genuinely, I say this word very carefully, genuinely butter up for no reason.
For no reason.
You're coming around, bring them a coffee, say hi to them. Just, take the time to, you're like, hey, can I help you carry this out? Do you need any scenarios with that? Like, share some time.
Just be a human.
Just be a human. Don't wait for admin's day to get them flowers, just be that person all the time, and you'll be amazed at what you'll get out of that.
Yeah, that's prime realty we talking about right here, bro.
Hell
prime.
Yeah.
Let's talk about mandatory fun.
Ooh, boy. Okay. Yeah, that all comes from, this is going to be a big lesson to the managers, the CEOs, the execs out there that think we're going to do this team building exercise and this is going to be so great. And half of your team is going to be like, oh, no.
Yeah. So, when you talk about that, mandatory fun can be a bitch sometimes.
It sure can.
And so what do I mean when I say mandatory fun? It's like, okay, so we've gotten all of these people out. You guys have traveled. Let's just say we've traveled you to Dallas. We've gotten you in. We've had a full day. And then we're going to take 30, 40 people bowling.
Right.
Right. And it's like people are tired.
And may not want to go bowling.
They might not want to go bowling. And it's like a gift and a curse because you do want to have fun with your people.
Right.
But then mandatory fun, sometimes it's like, I joke about it. Sometimes you don't even get enough time to shower in your room.
Right.
Or like me and my wife joke, like, do they give you time to take a poop? You're like, no.
Not really.
Not really. You're like, okay, hey, how many times have you had to call home and be like, hey, how you doing? Yep. The day went well, but yep, I'm just in the room right now and I got to get back down because the shuttle is leaving it.
Yep. Yeah.
40 minutes.
There are a couple of times where I have, my wife has been like, well, really? This is the first time that you've had a chance to call me? I'm like, yes, this is the first time I had time.
Yeah, and it's not like she don't know the routine.
Right, exactly.
Mandatory fun. It can, and the beauty of it is it's twofold. There are some people who never get away from home.
Never.
So that mandatory fun, they're the type of people who are like, because even sometimes it's large mandatory fun, or it can just be like, hey, let's meet for drinks and dinner. And what kills me is those people who are like wanting to give you 20 minutes. Okay, meet back here in 20.
Yeah,
you're like, dude, let me get up there, wash my face, call home, take a poop. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a minute. Why do you think people are so hyped?
I think it's about an energy. I think people get so amped up and they're just this like they're wound up and they want to keep that energy flowing. And I don't know if they're afraid or if they don't even think about it. It's just like, yeah. We got to keep on this vibe while we're rolling this wave. It's like if you're an effective leader or an effective team, you can spark that back up at any moment. You don't need to, the energy can quote unquote calm down a little bit. It doesn't need to be on this high.
Yeah. I found that, I've gotten more out of low key events.
Yep.
Right. Like I've come back and been like, oh, well, we were going to go here and there, but you know what? This hotel has a fire pit.
Oh, yeah.
Do we want to just get some wings and a couple beers and sit by this fire? And
all true.
and I've done that and come up with some insane ideas that we've implemented.
Yeah. How many times have we had like a plan and then the day went a little sideways and we're like, oh, that plan just doesn't sound so much fun anymore. We don't need to do that. Let's come up with a new plan.
I don't need a 50-minute Uber.
To go get pizza.
To go get pizza. Like, bro, I don't need to do that. Chill out. And then it's funny because you get getting someone who's used to the mandatory fun to chill.
Yeah.
Oof. Right. And see, for me, that's how you can become a hotel snob as well.
Oh, yeah.
You should travel. You should have a bar and a grill in the hotel that you're staying at. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't have to be a JW Marriott.
No.
But listen to me. There should be a place for you to eat and get a beer if you don't want to go outside of that hotel.
Correct.
Right? And I mean, even for safety purposes, because you go, oh, I'm tired. And this is like, oh, we're staying at a Fairfield Inn with nothing in here. I'm going to have to go out into this town. You don't want that. You don't want that.
Once you're checked in, you want to stay checked in.
You can stay checked in and you can say, oh, do you guys have, what type of bourbon do you have here?
That's right. And that's another great place to make friends, right? With the hotel staff, whether they're the bartender, or whether they're, a house cleaner or a front desk agent, they got the same keys and the same secrets.
Man, you know it well. Pre-pandemic, I had a fairy godmother that worked in the hotel industry.
Yep.
And I would show up and these people at this hotel, you built a relationship with them. I'd go to my room and there would be warm cookies, milk, Pinot Grigio, right?
Cubes.
Few cubes. They know I like a few cubes in my wine. Yeah. But, this, as we talk about this, it's just all about relationships.
100%.
It's all about relationships. And then, once you build those relationships, you can feel comfortable saying, I'm not up for the whoop-de-whoop tonight. I just want to. And then once you're able to say that, oftentimes there are others who feel just like you.
Correct. Afraid to tell you the real scenario because they feel like they're letting you down or they're not going to be.
I'm tired.
Judged or something.
Yeah. Especially, it's also different, because you and I, a lot of times we're doing the workshop. We're providing a workshop for someone.
Right.
We're doing the coaching and people so you're pouring into people all day. At the end of it, I'm tired. Even if it's like, oh, we're going to go see a Bears game. And it's like, sounds like fun.
Yep.
But
I'm beat down.
I'm beat, and that's the thing. So generally travel days, psychopaths like to start at 8.
Yeah.
I prefer to start at 9 if we're off site, right?
Takes the edge off.
It takes the edge off. People you You can get a workout in. You can get your
Mm-hmm.
coffee. You can call home.
Yeah.
West Coasters get to sleep in a bit. You feel me?
Yeah.
I like to start at 9, and you think about it. So if you start at 9, more likely you're up at 7, depending upon what. So you do that. You go through a full day. You get done. Somebody's raring to have a cocktail with you immediately. So then that's when you got the 20, 30-minute break in between whatever mandatory fun. And then, even if it's like even just going to a steakhouse, if you got more than 8 people, that's a long ass dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, what do we want for apps?
There's another 20 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
What? Yeah.
Waiting for everybody to pick appetizers.
Waiting for everybody to, can we get the calamari? Ooh, can we get the fish dip? And it's just like 60,000 appetizers going around.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the dinner, those dinners are so long.
So long.
I'm not complaining.
Well, sometimes they need to happen. But I mean, that's the thing is if the whole point of what I take out of this is it's like, this is a rule book for a manager on how to have a successful team and potentially have people in their team that you can consider work wives or work husbands by, like, hey, you guys want to just hang out in the bar tonight instead, or you want to, you know what, if you guys want to check out and just go back to your room, that's cool too.
Yeah, you want to eat a burger in your bed like David Hasselhoff?
Go cozy up in the sheets.
It's
Turn
not
the
like
air on.
Turn the air down low. It's nothing like having food in your hotel bed, bro.
Yeah. And that goes back to the, what we talked about in the earlier convo about, filling your well. That is easily sitting in ice cold sheets and, with a burger and some room service and, maybe a beer, watching Forensic Files on the hotel TV.
She thought she was showing up for a surprise birthday party.
That's an instant battery recharge right there.
Instant, right? You'd have a twisted tea up in there.
Yes.
Good. You are good to have a little, a little box full of stuff in your room. Like, I'm like, when did you get a chance to get a 6-pack of twisted teas?
I find my ways.
You're like, I got to stop at the Walmarts on the way in. I'm like, bro, where'd you get all of this stuff?
I always have some snacks and some drinks. Always.
Yes. All right, so let's hit it. People are uncomfortable, but the infidelity.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
It's a part of every. It's a part of
really is.
Every organization. Somebody's gonna get under the mistletoe, and what I think it is it's stress, right?
Yep.
Listen, work isn't going to, the type of work that you do isn't going to lead your spouse into someone else's arms. It's what you got going on at home.
Exactly.
That's it. You don't have to be because there were studies years ago that was like pharmaceutical med device reps are the highest. Well, it's a lot, and it's a lot of things. It's a very competitive industry, right? You got a lot of type A doers, a lot of people, ex-athletes. So people are in shape. People are taking good care of themselves.
Yep.
So you get hundreds of people showing up at the hotel in Atlanta, right? I can remember back in the day, people would go to these national sales meetings, man, and they would just live a double life.
Yeah.
It would be like, for a week, I'm dating this person.
I'm an assassin.
I'm an absolute assassin, or I got me I'm gonna paint the town red with this person that's from, Iowa that I only see once a year.
Yep.
So that's tough. That one got you quiet.
It did, because I've had very, I don't know if old fashioned is the word. I think it's probably new fashioned that, there's never a place where I would ever cheat on my wife personally. And I know quite a few people who are, they're out there just banging, and it kind of, initially it always kind of hurts me inside. It's like, man, who are you? I know your wife or your husband. What that, that's not cool.
Right.
But the thing that you need to remember is you don't know the scenario that's going on at home. You need to reel in the judging a little bit, especially if that person is not your best buddy or you're not homies. Like, reel that judgment in, because you don't know. Maybe they're in a lifestyle. Maybe they're, who knows? There's a million scenarios that you couldn't think of.
Maybe that person's been a part of a mixture of something.
Exactly.
You don't know. And listen, I've seen a ton of people who were with people and unhappy and left and went with someone else and became happy.
Yep.
I've also seen, I've seen some work relationships be created. Yep. So it's not an evil thing.
Nope.
But, what I would say is that, the problem is the alcohol, right?
Oh, it's almost always the problem.
But and what I mean is okay, let's just say you're in a, what do they call that? An entanglement.
Yes.
You're in an entanglement with somebody else. Keep it to yourself.
Right.
Don't get caught tediously fondling at the bar. Be smart. Don't walk, tell them to leave 15 minutes after you. It's just all of these things that, because people pick up on it.
Yeah, handing your fling, your hotel room card in front of your boss might not be the move.
No, not checking into your room.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of little birds, yeah, you are known. You think you're all high and classy? No.
No. We know you didn't check into your room. So where are you staying? You're here. Why aren't you checking your room?
You're in somebody else's room is where you are.
Check into your room, fool.
Yep. Like, physically go get into your room. Go get the key.
Don't just show up and stay with your work boyfriend, girlfriend, other.
Yep.
Check into your room.
Go put your bag in your room.
Go put your bag in your room.
Pull the sheets down that bed. Do
something. Okay.
Not that we're trying to teach people how to get away with murder here.
But we're just like, I'm trying, because somebody's listening and they're in this.
Yes.
And I don't want to push them aside. I'm saying, hey, that stuff happens. Be smart.
Yep.
Be smart. I've been at meetings, and it's always the big party, the booze, and then the dancing. And then there are people I've been like, yo, why are you letting him grab you? I'm seeing this.
Right.
Don't let him grab you in front of these people. If that's what you want to do, great. Just go up to your room.
Yep.
But this guy is grabbing your butt this is a work event.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people watching you. So,
yep.
It's not for everybody. At every meeting that people go to, it's not a massive hookup. I think just like anything, people go to bars and meet people and hook up.
Right.
But it's very easy to get to a place where it's still work. So I think that's what people forget. You're not in a cube. Like, if you're in a Marriott for 4 days for work, it's work.
It's work.
Right. So you just can't be a fool with it. Mm-hmm. You have to protect yourself, because there are people. Listen, this is the other thing. There are people in power who've had their spouses cheat on them and they're unhappy.
Correct.
So now they find out that you're doing that. They can easily project that stuff on you.
Oh, we've seen it so many times.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, wow, you're going after this guy. Like, hellfire and brimstone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't know what happened to the head of HR.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah, head of HR might be a jilted ex-lover, and they're like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. And to circle back to something that you just said too, if you're the person who's getting grabbed on the dance floor, and that is not wanted, you don't go talk to somebody about it. Don't let that happen, because that nothing good will come from that. Or just, in my opinion, don't ignore it.
No.
And don't think it will just go away, because unfortunately that usually leads to more unwanted behavior. Go find a buddy, even if it's somebody working the event, like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with this scenario. Can you help me? I just want to make sure that we're telling people that, it's okay to be uncomfortable and to say something about that.
And, I think the first thing that, and I've dealt with people, and they're like, well, I don't want him to lose his job.
Right.
Like, that's not the point.
That's not your problem.
That's not your problem.
No.
Right. And other people will decide that, but you have to speak about what happened to you.
Correct.
So said individual can know, because some people can think that's the case, and you just never know what people are thinking when they got 6 vodka sodas in them.
Never know.
You never know. So, we've seen people get followed back to their rooms, all types of crazy stuff.
Too many times.
So stand up for yourself, reach out, ask somebody, and just be aware. When you're at these deals, really my point is I've seen a lot of people with very nice jobs go to a meeting and come home without a job.
Yep.
If we can save one person, then we winning. We are winning. Great discussion, player.
You know it. You want a little quick this or that?
Of course I do.
All right, man. We're going to the movies. Let's say we're going to go see Deadpool 3 tomorrow night. You ordering popcorn, candy, nothing, all of that? What are you getting?
Okay. So I'm getting a cherry icy.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, gotta have that. Popcorn, I like to dig into it a little bit, so I'll share that. I'll share my wife she's got to have popcorn, so I'll be like, okay, I'll share that, but I gotta have my Twizzlers, player.
Gotta have the Twizzlers, huh?
Yeah, and a pack to myself that'll hopefully last me throughout the entire
and you're not sharing. Those are your Twizzlers.
I really don't want to share, but I will. You know what I'm saying?
But you'll be like, damn it.
I'm like, God, here's 3 and don't ask for more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you wanted Twizzlers, you should have got them.
Exactly.
Because I think people think because they're sharing their popcorn that they can share your candy bar or your stuff, and I don't agree with that.
I'm with you, man.
What about you? Are you the guy like, extra cheese and peppers on those nachos?
No, I don't do messy food, but popcorn has to be like, I want you to fill the popcorn bucket halfway, put butter or I'll put butter on it, and then fill it the rest of the way and put butter. I don't want just butter on the top. I want butter all through that.
You want butter all through there.
Yes. And a soda. A bonus is maybe some ropes, some cherry ropes or a Butterfinger or something. But
okay.
Popcorn and a soda, must.
Excellent, brother.
Yeah, my dude.
Well, hey, gang out there, thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. Make sure you're passing this on. The best thing you can do is, if you had a good time, pass this on to a friend that you know would have a great time as well.
Exactly.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you more, man. Peace.
Peace.